Hi everyone! Welcome back to the second part in this series of the Singer Quantum Stylist 9960. In this segment, I'm going to go over some of the very nice features of this machine. I'm going to talk about the straight stitch and the zigzag utility stitches and how to adjust them. And I'm going to show you how to change out your presser foot. This is the front of your machine, and I'd like you to notice this little button on the top with an icon of a pair of scissors. That is your cutting button. Directly to the right of that is a slide bar that adjusts your stitching speed. Directly below the scissors is your needle up, needle down button. Directly below that one is your back stitching button. And directly below that is your start-stop button. Now on this particular machine, you have the option to use your start-stop button to actually sew, or your foot pedal. If you choose to sew with your start-stop button, you will need to unplug your foot pedal. That's on the lower right side of your machine. Now I'm going to turn the machine on because I want you to see what it does and hear the sound that it makes. That sound that you heard and the movement that you saw over here by the needle, by the presser foot, is simply the machine calibrating itself as it's turned on. Here's the display on the front of the machine. It's a small LCD screen that's very easy to read. There are two stitches that I want you to be aware of first. The first one is a straight stitch stitched in the center, and the zigzag stitch. Now if you notice on the display, it's set to 1 right now, which is your straight stitch. And it tells you that you should be using foot A. Now the display suggested using foot A. This is foot A. See right on the top here, it says A. So now I'm going to show you how to remove this clear presser foot and put on your general sewing foot. Now I'm going to show you how to remove the presser foot from your machine and how to install a new one. This machine has snap-on feet, and it's a very nice feature because the feet go on and off very easily. Notice this button behind the shank of your machine. Simply press it and your foot will fall right off the machine. Now we're going to put on presser foot A. You put that under the presser foot, lower the presser foot, and it will snap right into place. Another nice feature of this machine is that all the stitches are displayed in the top cover of your machine. Notice that every stitch pattern has a number just above it. That number correlates with the LCD display, letting you know what stitch pattern you're on by number, what foot you need to use, and the buttons that you need to adjust the length or the width of the stitch. Adjusting the length and the width of your stitch is done by this icon, which has a small arrow below it. If you press the button directly below that arrow, it will display another menu that will show you how to adjust the length and the width of your stitch. This side on the right shows you how to adjust the length. The minus will shorten your stitch, and the plus sign will lengthen your stitch. Now if you notice, there's a black box around the 2.5, which is your stitch length, and the 3.5, which is your stitch width. These are the default sets in your sewing machine. Your sewing machine, when it's turned on and calibrated, will always come back to these preset stitches. Now this arrow to the left will adjust the width, less width of your zigzag stitch, and this arrow will adjust to a larger width of a zigzag stitch. Now this zigzag stitch on this machine will stitch all the way up to 7 millimeters. When you hear this sound, it means that your stitch is as large as it will get in width. Now let's go back to the length. The longest stitch length your machine will sew is 5.0, and then you will hear the same sound, and you will know that that's your longest stitch. I'm going to start off sewing with the default setting straight stitch at a 2.5 and show you what the machine sounds like and what the stitch looks like. Now I'm going to lengthen it a little bit to the longest stitch that this machine will do. And at the end, I'm going to use the scissors to cut. And there's the stitch. There's the 2.5, and that's where this is where I lengthened it to a 5.0. I'm changing over now to the zigzag stitch, as you can see number 9 on the display, and I'm going to pull up the menu to change the width and the length of this stitch. I'm starting off with a 2.0 width and a 2.0 length of zigzag stitch. Put your presser foot down. Now I'm going to widen the stitch. And now I'm going to widen it to its widest stitch. And the last thing I'm going to do is lengthen this stitch so that you will see how long and how wide you can stitch on this zigzag.